How's it going, everyone? Equinox Phoenix here, and today we're going to talk about Superman and Lois Season 3, Episode 6, titled Of Sound Mind. Uh, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This episode is a bit of a doozy. So, Jordan has successfully completed every. We're going to start off with Jordan because it's just quick and easy. Jordan has successfully completed every single one of Clark's tests. Clark reacts oddly negatively to Jordan passing all these tests. It's like really odd how negative it is. Now, of course, this gets explained. Lois continues to go to chemo, and DeSantis, I think is it DeSantis or what's the dude's name? Hold on, I forget the. I'm like, there's no way it's DeSantis. DeStefano. DeStefano. Calls in Superman to the DOD thingy, and he's like, "Take me to Bruno Mannheim," because he's like dying. Like this man, when Superman checks, this man's got like tumors all up in his like torso, and I'm just like, "Oh boy." Uh, and so Superman takes him to Bruno, and Bruno's like, "Take him to a hospital. Like, what do you want me to do?" Right? He's still in that like, I am innocent. You won't catch me out on this. Um. Anyway, Clark is also at the beginning of the episode in therapy, group therapy for um and in group therapy he hears everyone's like it's just like the spouses of everyone who's had cancer and whatnot, and something it just like it makes Clark's denial of Lois's situation all the worse because Clark's like, nah, you'll be fine, and oh my life, that's like a thing throughout the episode. Anyway, we know the episode's kind of all over the place, but my mind is even more all over the place, so bear with me. Now, skip a bit, and Lois gets invited. As they're heading home, Lois, she made friends with the one lady, the one lady because her name doesn't get revealed until the very end of the episode. The one lady, that Clark was talking with, a couple episodes ago. Maybe it was last episode. And she invites Lois out to like eat before Lois loses her ability to taste and whatnot, to learn about Hobbs Bay and whatnot. And it's like, No, they do end up going out to eat, and it's this whole thing. Lois discovers a restaurant in Hobbs Bay, and she's like, "How did I not know about this place?" Like, and it's just like, yeah. So Clark takes Jordan to the fortress, where he has Jordan face off against Adam something or other. I think it's like Adam Smasher. Uh, Miller, whatever his villain code name is. And Bizarro Kal-El, right? Like the Bizarro World Kal-El. Jordan gets them to like this man is just like whooping ass, right? He's 2v1ing them, and he gets them to essentially take each other out. Perfect strategy. I think the last time we saw it in Arrowverse, in the in well, it's no longer Arrowverse, it's Everything Verse. The last time we saw this was the Flash doing it with Heatwave and Captain Cold, where they like if you with their guns like met each other like this in the middle, it kind of like neutralized both, which was that was a cool scene. Anyway, I'm just thinking back to it, and it's a cool scene. I miss Captain Cold and Heatwave and Legends, and yeah, let's just not. Anyway, Clark has laser programs. Try and cheap shot Jordan, and Jordan does get hit a couple times. Jordan does justifiably get upset with his dad, and he's like, "No, you," and he flies home. Obviously, Clark follows him, and when he tells Lois, he's just like, "Nah, leave me alone." Like he's just like, "Get good." He's just like, "Get gone." Essentially, like he's pissed, and justifiably so. Clark's being oddly weird this episode. Like he's being both optimistic as all hell, but also not. Now while this is happening, um, Sarah is repeatedly stuck taking care of her sister. I shouldn't use the word stuck, but that's like the feeling it gives off. But she has midterms on Monday, and so she's just drowning in is it trig or geometry? I think it's geometry, and she like she's barely like functioning right now, and Sophie ends up getting sent to her dad's work. Um, it's all boring. Jonathan's getting that like a newbie hazing type deal. Uh, he's got the name Rusty. For it. Jonathan and Sarah make plans to study together because they both they got midterms and whatnot. Anyway, while they are studying, Sophie asks Sarah for food. Sarah's still overwhelmed by her need to study for midterms and tells her to go get food. Sophie ends up disappearing, and Lana shows up, asks where's Sophie, and she's like, she went to get food an hour ago. Oh shit. This then leads to a a search for Sophie, wherein they check the house, she's not there. They realize where she is, and Jonathan speeds off. He describes it as I should get my license taken later on to go find her. They do manage to find her at like where the fair is supposed to be, and Sophie doesn't want to talk to her sister. She doesn't want to talk to any of her family. She's in tears. Jonathan goes and talks with her and manages to get through to her about. We find out that Sophie feels like she's unwanted and unloved and all of this, and I gotta say, justifiably so. Her dad, her mom is too busy for her because mayor. Her sister's too busy for her because geometry. Her dad's too busy for her because he's sleeping with Chrissy. Well, he's supposed to be taking care of his kids. Uh, that's Oh yeah, and Lana finds out that Kyle and Chrissy are a thing. So that's a fun one. Jonathan reveals that he gets how she feels because of he doesn't go into the particulars obviously because he can't with Sophie, but obviously us as the viewer we know it's because Jordan has powers and he doesn't, so he feels a bit left out from all the fun superhero times, which is anyway, he manages to calm Sophie down and get through to her. And Kyle, who arrived midway through, Sarah rush in and hug her. They take her home. The This part of the episode ends with Sophie, Sarah, and Lana playing the video games. I think, or is it a movie? I don't know. I don't honestly. I think it's a video game. Um, Horror dog game type thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, while this is happening, as well, Clark and Jordan have a talk, of sorts, where Clark tries to apologize because after Jordan had got in and dropped that, Clark lasered him repeatedly. Bomb. Lois goes on a drive. Jordan doesn't want to speak to his father. So Clark goes to apologize to Jordan. Again, justifiably so. He kind of went way too far with the training. Ignore that. That's just vitamin bottle cap. Anyway, he goes and apologizes and is like, "Look, like I went through hell getting to where I am." And Jordan's response is, "Yeah, you were alone. I have Superman. Who's who more could be a better teacher, right?" And Clark gets it, right? And then they hear what seems to be Lois screaming for help. Now Clark goes off to save Lois, telling Jordan stay put. Um, and it turns out it's onomatopoeia. That is a name I don't think I'm gonna be able to say multiple times without messing it up. They ambush Superman. He gets triple whammied by kryptonite laser beam gun things. And Lois arrives home and finds out that Clark went out to go save her, but she's fine. So she tells Jordan, concentrate on your dad, hear what's going on. And when they find out about the fight, she's like, go save your dad. And he does. He manages to save his dad, but he does get whammied by the kryptonite guns. But the whammy doesn't work. It like messes up his suit. We get the debut of the Superboy suit for the show, but it messes up the suit like hold up, let me stand up. It messes up the suit like right here ish, and yeah, I need to lose weight. But that's about all it does. Clark and Lois realize, wait, Jordan's not affected by kryptonite in the same way as Clark is. he might actually end up being stronger than Clark simply for being half human, which is different than how it usually is. Usually from the materials of Superboy that I've seen, um, well, for the materials of Superboy I've seen, it's genetically engineered Superboy who's Connor, not biological son Jordan or Jonathan or what have you. I think I've only ever seen one where it's a biological child, and that's the Super Sons movie that came out this year. It's animated, so don't look for it on the channel. It's not there. Um, but that's interesting. Anyway, the episode ends with Clark going back to group therapy and admitting to uh that he was afraid after because Lois yelled at him over him not wanting to admit that look you uh, he's perfect, right? But she's gonna eventually die. She has to. She's human. Lois sees a picture of Bruno Mannheim on the wall. I don't remember if there was anyone else in the picture. I hyper focused on Bruno Mannheim being in the picture. I think he was across like a table from someone. She sees it at the restaurant. Her and unnamed individual. And now Bruno Mannheim and Onomatopoeia are talking, and Onomatopoeia takes the mask off. And wait a minute, that's Lois's new friend. Turns out Lois's new friend is Pia Mannheim, Bruno's wife. Oh, so her name's Pia, apparently, and she's married to Bruno. Yes, this is a very long video. There was a lot going on this episode, which is interesting. I didn't I didn't know that Bruno Mannheim was married. I don't think I've ever seen him be married, but hey, let's go with it. Anyway, that's the episode. Tell me what you guys thought of the episode down in the comment section down below. That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay bright. What an episode.